summer program go, and what did it kind of tell you about this team?
No, I thought it was a great summer. Really the commitment for our players, the investment that you saw them pouring into not only the work, I mean, what they were doing on the field in the weight room, but really just the continued investment in building those relationships. And we know we got a heck of a journey in front of us, but to see guys continuing to grow, just taking the ownership of what they're doing in the meeting room, continuing to pour into each other. Everybody's working on just gaining their understanding of things we're asking them to do, and then just the overall application of being able to go and get that done. But I thought, all in all, it was a wonderful summer. You see the size, the speed, the strength. Coach Storms and his staff did a remarkable job. Our players, every day they showed up and they really just emptied the tank. And I thought they were, probably one of our best summers collectively. And as you sit there and look from January till here reporting tomorrow, I mean, I could not be any more pleased with the investment from this group and what they've done to get us to this point.
How did the summer enrollees do with integrating, and did anybody in particular stand out in that group?
But they did a great job, and I think having such a good number of guys that started in January, that had been that had transitioned into the program, you were able to see them take guys under their wings and kind of help them, as they rolled through, and it's been great. And to see, Mekhi Danzy's, really just. Through every workout, and you see the size, the speed, the athletic ability that he brings. I'm really excited about getting out on the field with him to see how that's going to transition as we get into pads and working through different concepts. I think both the young offensive linemen, Manasseh and Jonathan, both are guys I'm excited about what their potential is going to be, and just for how they've started off within the program. Ricky Knight, really did some great things. Both the young defensive tackles, Jamari and Debo have done a great job coming into the program, and really you see their size and athletic ability for a couple of guys there up front. So excited about the newcomers that have joined in, and you're really excited to see this entire group transition out there to the field here in the next couple of days.
How do you feel like when we talked to you back in May, you liked what DJ had done in the spring? How has he kind of continued that through the summer program?
He's done a wonderful job, and it's good that through rule changes, and now that for us to be able to be on the field while they're going on air, and to be able to operate through plays, and at least continue to build upon that timing with the receivers and routes on air and things like that. It was good to see his growth. You see the confidence in the rhythm, the timing. You can see those relationships continuing to grow with all the different skilled players. Just even in how he's communicating, the confidence and understanding of what we're asking him to do, and so he's done an incredible job. I mean, you see his body, carrying his body weight, as good as I've seen him, in his movements, and just the conditioning aspect of all of it, and he's really done a great job leading by example, and excited to see him take the field.
How big of a change will sideline tablets and in-helmet communication be for y'all?
No, I think it's going to be big. Obviously it's a huge change for college football in general, but when you go into it, and we started integrating the helmet to coach the helmet communication, and that's a balancing act, and obviously both sides of the ball, how much information, what do where is that comfort level with each player, especially their quarterback on offense, not to overwhelm them with information, but to make sure that you're communicating in ways where they can be confident, and you'll get the information that's necessary, whether it's a play call, whether it's a tip, different things like that. And then obviously as we get into this season with the tablets, I think those are going to be things that you're going to have the immediate feedback, and we've been able to kind of reevaluate how we're doing things and how we're going to do things as we go into this the fall, making sure that we're utilizing all those resources to the best of our ability.
I know you got some guys off field who have NFL experience. Like, does that help because they have the comms in the NFL?
Well, and it does, and just be able to even continue with the research in that, and it's one of the things that we've tried to do from multiple different sources, guys that have had experience of it, but also making sure that that we're looking at a variety of different options, guys that have done it at both levels, and different things that they would implement, and things that maybe that try to eliminate going down the wrong path, just through others' experiences. So it's been good. We've spent a lot of time making sure that at least going into fall camp, and just our continued work through those systems and what that'll be, that we're going to be prepared and ready to go when we get to Ireland.
This group that you brought here, 3 guys that have been in the program for a long time, started their careers at Florida State. Like, how special has it been to bring them to this event?
No, it's great. I mean, and they've earned it. You know, they've put in the work. They've grown. They've developed. You know, they've become some of the top players in this conference and in the country. And to be able to celebrate them and to allow them to you know, put their voice and perspective, you know, over this team, you know, their teammates, and you know, obviously all the excitement for what's ahead for us this season. You know, they're a special group, and you know, we've got a wonderful group, even guys that are not here today that were definitely well deserving, and you know, really just proud of the guys that have been through that process.
Is there a common trait among the 3?
I mean, I think when you look at them, I mean, they're all very tough. They're tough-minded. They're workers. They you know, really, you know, invested all to be able to put themselves in a position that they're in, and you know, the path it's been a real one, and you know, there's been highs, there's been lows, but I think the one constant trait is that they just continue to respond, they continue to push, they continue to get better, and I mean, it's what's allowed them to be the leaders that they are for this team. But you know, it's just a wonderful example for anybody that watches, you know, how to go through the course of life, and you know, we're expecting big things from all 3 of these guys, and really, you look at any guy that's been in the program for, you know, the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's been a journey, and you know, really proud of them, and for them to take some of those experiences, and you know, I mean, even for some of the newcomers, guys that have come in for the last 2 years that have only experienced, you know, the back-to-back 10-win seasons and all of that, but to remember the process, to remember the steps that were necessary to get to this point, because you know, even through the last 2 years, we've seen our highs and we've seen our lows, but it's that grit, it's the mindset, it's the response that's necessary to allow us to continue to improve and to overcome, and that's what these guys have really embodied.
Is it especially rewarding for Darius? He was here before you got here.
Yeah, and
so he went through some stuff that even you didn't go through.
Absolutely. I mean, Darius, Maurice, I mean, you know, guys that have you know, really, you know, they've been through the thick and thin of all of it, and you know, to see you know their journeys, and whether it was Darius when we first got here, you know, he's one of those guys. Him and Maurice both got thrown out so early in their career, and you know, really you know, almost out of necessity, and you know, at times that's really, you know, somewhat unfair to the player, you know, because you look at some of the physical, you know, things that they had to work through, whether it was an injury or just, you know, having, I think both Maurice and Darius at some points were, you know, well undersized for what they were having to go do, but you know, they stayed the course, and you know, they believed in the guidance, they believed in the direction. You know, obviously Coach Storms and his staff have done a remarkable job with both those guys, and they've developed to being, you know, a couple of the top players, you know, in this league. But you know, you take the mental toughness that it had to, you know, whether it's developed or just you know, those experiences that have really kind of, you know, helped them form the identity of who they are. It's inspiring, and to be able to work side by side with them, and to see them continue to push and try to capitalize and maximize on this last season. I mean, it's something that, you know, I'm cheering for them, and you're just grateful that I get to help represent them and their journey.
With DJ, how much of this 4 months or 6 months or so has been about learning what you guys do, and how much of it has been his individual growth under you and Tony?
I mean, I think it's both. I mean, it's and really, you know, you for us to get a better sense of who he is, and some of the things that, you know, you can sit there and watch film and you can see a result of a play, but it's also the process how you get to the result. And you know, for him, I want this to be the best year of his life, and to take everything that he's gone through, to be able to come together with this team, the individuals that are around it, you know, what we're asking them to do as a coaching staff, and for him to go out there and to be able to execute at the highest of levels. And so, you know, part of it is learning a new terminology, new language, you know, maybe, you know, different expectations when it comes to maybe a drop or a progression or a read or whatever that might be, just coming to within a system. But it's also, you know, for us getting to know him, and you know, you do that with really every quarterback, and you try to do that with every playmaker that you have, you know, to put them in the best position to showcase all that they can do. And so that's part of the say give and take, but it's part of the relationship of getting to know each other, and you know, that's going to be something that will continue to evolve throughout the course of a season. But you know, you see his his humility to work, his humility to come be a part of it. It's not, it's never been about him, coming into this program, and it's something I think he's earned the respect of his teammates, because he's jumped in from day one, and it's just always been about the work, and it's been about the investment to build those relationships and to show that even this is a new language, and for the last 3 years he had 3 new languages he's had to learn, but you see that what he's willing to pour in to be able to understand that, and then to be able to also help those that are around him, it's really really impressive.
What position group on each side of the ball needs to take a leap forward from where they were in the spring for you guys to maximize your capability?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you look at both sides of the ball, there's great opportunities. And, I think, the receiver position is one that I'm really excited about. I'm excited about the guys we have in the room, but, who's going to emerge? Who's going to take that step? Who's going to be, the consistency of performance, the execution, when you need to play, who's ready to rise up and be that consistent go-to guy? I think, Malik Benson showed wonderful flashes of that, there this spring, and he's looked great this summer. You got guys that have been in the program for a long time that, Ja'Kai Douglas, that has showed up in so many big moments and so many big games. Excited about where he's going as well. But then, Kentron, Darion, staying healthy. He looks as good as he's looked here in this summer. And then some young guy, Hakeem Williams, like he's, you saw flashes of him last year as a true freshman, and he is on track, and now it's time to go to show up and perform at a level that we all know he's capable of. Deuce Spann, who's had his those highlight plays and moments, but it's the consistency of that at the receiver position that I'm excited about. We got some newcomers that I'm really excited about. Jalen Brown, Lawayne McCoy, a whole group of young freshmen. Elijah Moore's looked great this summer. Obviously BJ and Camden were both here. You can basically go through that entire position. It's exciting players, but now it's time to go in there and to be able to consistently execute at a high level, and that's what we're going to be looking for there. I think defensively, when you look at the core, the defensive front linebacker, I think that's going to be how that all gels together. I mean, it's I'm excited about the personnel once again. I mean, you look, I think we've got 2 of the best defensive tackles, not only in the conference, but I think in the country. Our defensive end position is as deep as it's been, with some unbelievable playmakers, guys that can absolutely change the game. Linebacker position is definitely as deep and talented as we've had. You're replacing 2 great players in Tatum and Kalen, but when you look at DJ Lundy and the positive steps that he's taken, we've been able to add a couple newcomers. We had 2 true freshmen, Justin Cryer and Blake Nicholson, that played 12, 13, 14 games this last year, and to see their growth, I mean, I'm just very excited about that position. But we need to see that come together, and who's going to establish themselves, who's going to take that next step to go out there and be the game changers I know they can be.
All right, last one. Do you plan on utilizing every capable coach you have of on-field coaching throughout practice, or will it look any different than it has years past, with everybody being able to help out?
No, it's going to be different. I mean, we're going to be able to get probably a little more selective in roles and responsibilities of guys being able to make an impact on the field. And I mean, I'm really excited about that. We've had a wonderful off-field staff that have had to I guess limit themselves in the sense of because it's just been to the coaches. It's just been to kind of the behind the scenes of what we're doing from a preparation aspect. But now to be able to have that on-field impact, I think is going to be really big for our program. And I'm definitely excited about that, and to be able to have maybe a little more specific technical and fundamental approach. I think it's going to be a good dynamic for our players, and just for us to be a little bit more efficient and hopefully accelerate the process for guys, just because of the people we're going to have that can work with them.